Tip-off just about underway, and it looks like it'll be a re-jump. Lady Jacks in their white and purple, Gonzaga in their red and white. So it looks like we're going to get a little re-jump real quick, but a little bit of change for Gonzaga tonight. They are without a few players, including their starter, Eliza Hollingsworth, who is, a big asset to their team, averages about 10 points a game and 60% from behind the arc. So that's going to be a big difference for this Zaga team. They're also without a really good player in number 11 and 12. That's going to be Kaylee Trong, Eliza Hollingsworth, like I had stated, and then number 5, Mao Hujabins. But Gonzaga wins the tip. Excuse me. Lady Jacks win the tip. And so Lady Jacks trying to get the offense flowing here first. As just a little bit goes by, and let's look at tonight's starting lineup. We'll start off first for the Bulldogs. You have, actually we're going to switch over to the Lady Jacks. You have Jordan Harrison, Tyler McCall, Angel Scott, Avery Brittingham, and then at the center you have Ayanna Johnson. So Lady Jacks couldn't get going in there on the first offensive possession. Now come back the Bulldogs back the other way, trying to get something going.
Lady Bulldogs doing a great job right now of just swinging the ball around, making extra passes. As we see Yvonne Ajim, and her first shot is up and good. She is the cornerstone piece of this Lady Bulldog basketball squad. She was 6th Woman of the Year last year for the West Coast Conference. As we see Brittingham, a strong take to the rim there, but she's not able to finish. But the Zags want to play fast tonight.
And that's going to be exactly what the Lady Jacks are going to do, is try to force the ball inside as we see the and one opportunity coming down low for Gonzaga. But like I said, Lady Jacks are really going to want to work the ball inside out. That's exactly also what the Gonzaga head coach talked about. I mean, they know exactly what SFA does here, so they're really wanting to put a stop to that. But they're again, talking to Mark Kellogg yesterday, he said that's what they're going to have to go through. They're going to have to go to the inside. Their veteran player, Ayanna Johnson, and they're just going to have to work it down low and just beat the ball inside the paint, as right now they face off against a 5-0 deficit.
But right now they're going to have to focus on stopping Yvonne Ajim, as she's able to get 5 points up here and early for the Lady Bulldogs. Lumberjacks still searching.
McClymonds call too strong on that one. Ajim averages just a hair shy, under 17 points a game, shooting above 50% from the floor, 40% from behind the arc, and a 75% free throw shooter. So Ajim can really do it all, as we see her inside just like that, getting 7 points on the board early.
She had great body position on Ayanna underneath the rim there. That was a great look and pass there.
McClymonds call trying to open things up for the Lady Jacks, just off the mark. Brittingham couldn't secure it, but it was last touched, I believe, by Michaela Williams. So Lady Jacks still searching for their first point. Again tonight, doubleheader. Lumberjacks will follow as they faced off against the Northwestern State Demons. Should be a good matchup there too.
And the Lady Jacks are going to have to continue to cook up their pressure, as we see the Bulldogs are in their face, making life difficult, playing man-to-man defense. They will not switch to a zone.
Harrison couldn't get it going. Again, Gonzaga ranked number 23 in the nation. They've taken down 2 ranked teams so far in this early going season. And it's the first time the Lady Jacks have hosted a ranked team since 2008.
Right there you have your first, almost the first turnover of the game. The Lady Jacks are known for their pressure. They're able to turn it up on the defensive end, and tonight they're going to have to do that. Gonzaga really dangerous around that perimeter, so these Lady Jacks are going to have to step out and guard tough.
They're going to have to stop Yvonne, and they're just going to have to cause turnovers. That's what the Lady Jacks have always been so good at. And just like that right there, here comes Harrison. Harrison looking to go against Yvonne, lays it up, and just couldn't quite get it to go down. Maybe looking for a call there, but not much. As the Gonzaga trying to make it a quick transition. And another turnover against the Bulldogs.
And just like that, back-to-back, that's all you can ask for on the defensive end, is just giving yourself another opportunity to score. as they still search for their first basket. But if they can keep that defense going, Chase, for 4 quarters, they can keep this game within reach.
Lady Jacks trying to draw something up here, trying to get their first points on the board. Harrison pull-up jumper. Can't get the friendly roll, knocked away by Johnson. Ball is fought for, and Harrison tried to get it to Johnson, but couldn't quite get it past the arms of Ajim.
Lady Bulldogs right now just doing a great job defensively of stepping in the way of these passes. Lumberjacks trying to pick and roll, and they are fighting right through it.
Good pressure right now from the Lady Jacks. And the jumper is good from Michaela Williams.
Beautiful shot right there coming off of the screen. She was able to get that from the elbow. Extend this lead to non-chase.
Lady Jacks still trying to get on the board. Johnson trying to go head-to-head with Ajim, and not much there. And that's going to go over the backboard, and just like that, right back into the hands of Gonzaga. Like you said, long journey here, but they're playing like it's their home court right now.
These ladies are not afraid of the big stage, and coming into this Coliseum versus this program, it is no easy feat, but right now, like you said, they're making it look comfortable as we see a travel right there by Michaela Williams. That is another turnover and another opportunity, but right now the Lady Jacks just can't break that rim.
And that's exactly what Coach Kellogg was telling us, is that if the Lady Jacks are going to have to play the best basketball that they have played so far this season, and that they can't make a bunch of mistakes, if they're going to want to pull this game out and advance to 6-1, they're really going to have to just be on the same page all night long. Inside Johnson, and that'll get, I don't know if that's considered a steal or a block down low.
I was about to say, but beautiful defense by Ajim. I was going to say Ayanna Johnson is going to have to take over, but right now Yvonne just giving her all she can handle underneath the rim right there.
Right now trying to extend it to a double-digit lead, and they do exactly that. Callie Stokes getting her first start tonight, and just like that has her first bucket.
And these Bulldogs can shoot the basketball, Chase, flat out. Talking to Coach Fortier earlier, that is one of the things she actually bragged about when I asked about the strengths of this team, is once again Yvonne underneath the rim, and the Bulldogs have opened up to a double-digit lead here in the Coliseum. We'll be right back here on ESPN+.
Lady Jacks trailing about midway through the first quarter. And it will be Gonzaga basketball. They trail 11-0, still searching for their first points with 4:45 remaining here in the first. It was the first 7 points coming from Yvonne Ajim. And just like that, come out of the break firing. And that's going to be Kaylin Trong.
Trong that time just left wide open on the perimeter. We mentioned the shooting that the Zags have, as Ayanna Johnson is fouled pretty hard there by Callie Stokes, and a great opportunity for the Lady Jacks to get their first points. But the Bulldogs and their strength to shoot the basketball, Chase, has shown itself very early in this game.
You see Kirsten Harden now in the game for the Lady Jacks, so maybe looking to really dominate down low. Kirsten Harden actually leads the nation in field goal percentage right now. So how about that for Kirsten Harden, the newcomer for the Lady Jacks, as Johnson misses the first, still trying to get the first points for the Lady Jacks on the board. So Lady Jacks get their first point as they now trail by 13. And that full court pressure, it hasn't phased Gonzaga much so far tonight.
They've amped it up since this timeout. Got a feeling Coach Kellogg mentioned that during our media timeout, is we'll see a different intensity on the defensive end right now. But another three-pointer is up and good. And that is Brianna Maxwell.
Brianna Maxwell from downtown, 17-1. Lady Jacks got to get something going offensively. And also have to get some stops. Right now, Gonzaga shooting lights out. I'm sure that'll slow down just a little bit as the game progresses. But right now, Lady Jacks just got to get something going. Johnson, pretty spin move, and is going to get the foul call. She'll go right back to the line where she was just a moment ago with 1 for 2. So far, Lady Jacks are 0 for 11 from the field.
And the Bulldogs, Lady Bulldogs, are a perfect 7 for 7 from the field. Have not missed a shot here since the start of this game.
The first one rims out and then rims back in. Johnson, you can see there, selected all WAC preseason first team. Johnson was amazing for this team last year. And looks to hopefully carry it on to this year. She's been amazing. She leads scores for the Lady Jacks as she knocks in a pair there. Here come the Gonzaga Bulldogs trying to push it in transition. Not much there. And now they're trying to play to their strength down low, and good block by Tyler McClymondt call. And that will be last touch by the Lady Jacks, so the Bulldogs will have an inbound underneath their own basket.
And you have to send some sort of defensive message, and that is what McClymondt call does right there. With that block underneath the rim, that we're not just going to let you guys get whatever you want. Is another shot is up and no good. Their first miss of the afternoon, but great play right there by the Lady Jacks. And possession goes to the SFA.
17-3. Lady Jacks now. Let's see if those free throws by Johnson maybe the nerves out, a little bit of rust off. Been a while since they played at home. Just got done with their tournament overseas,
in which they won both games. So mentioned Lady Jacks 6-1 coming in is Jordan Harrison, a turnover right there. Looks like Yvonne and Jean wanted to take that shot coming off of the steal.
Right now, Bulldogs is trying to move the ball around, trying to get inside, and that's going to be a kick ball against Harrison. And a couple substitutions for the Lady Jacks. You have Destiny Lombard and Kyla Deck both checking in. And then you also have number 22, Brenna Maxwell, checking out for the Bulldogs. Good inside pass to Ajim. She can't finish it off, and Hurston will come down with it.
Pretty amazing defense right there as Yvonne made a tough catch, but the Lady Jacks able to stall out. Something they're going to have to continuously do.
And also get offensive possessions to fall. Lombard from outside. Can't get it going right now. Lady Jacks 0 for 3 from downtown. And the pass up front to Ajim, and I mean, that's just a great transition play there. She lays it up and in. 19-3 with 2:20 remaining here in the first.
And I'm agreeing with you right there, Chase. Just fast, beautiful basketball in transition. Yvonne ran the court. The Lady Jacks not getting back.
Lady Jacks still have not made a field goal there. 0 for 11. Got to get some offensive flowing from the field. Johnson on the inside, looking for the foul, and the late whistle does come in. And Johnson will head back to the line where all the points have come from so far, from the line.
And they're going to have to capitalize on the free throws. That is the opportunities they are getting right now. The Lady Bulldogs have been playing great closeout defense, getting in the way of some of these passes. And on the offensive end, they've just been simply making shots.
Johnson so far tonight is 3 for 4. Make it 4 for 5. She is a 70% free throw shooter this season. And gets the shooter's touch, falls in. And now 19-5 with under 2 to play here in the first. Bulldogs getting the play set up. Moving the ball down low, and that's Kirsten wanted the block there. Good little pump fake for Callie Stokes as she lays it up and in.
Indeed, that was tough defense, but Callie Stokes able to regain possession of that ball and put it right back up as we see Ayanna Johnson just throwing that one out of the reach of Lombard.
And Lombard was wide open on that pass.
Indeed, it would have been a great finish right there, but Lady Jacks continue to struggle as we see Brittingham checking into the game now.
For Ayanna Johnson, who has all 5 Lady Jack points. So right now with a 21-5 lead, we do see Ejim on the bench right now. Kind of taking her spot down low is Destiny Burton. Trickling down to a minute to play here in the first. And just like that, smooth as butter, as you see Trong just pull up and knock it down.
Indeed it was, Chase. Just the rise up and wrist flick and tack on 2 more points for the Lady Bulldogs.
Trying to get the field started, and Kyla Deck from outside knocks it in. The very first made field goal comes with under a minute to play for the Lady Jacks.
Freshman Kyla Deck loves that 3-point shot. 47%er on the season.
And that'll be a foul against the Lady Jacks. And it looks like it's going to go against Kyla Deck. She's kind of wondering around what she did. But nonetheless, it is a foul. Harrison will check in for the Lady Jacks. And Esther Little and Brenna Maxwell will check in for the Bulldogs. 30 seconds to play. Now it's 15 on the shot clock. This Gonzaga Bulldog team really knows how to move it. Kyla Deck able to come up with it. Deck trying to push it in transition is going to pick up the foul against Peyton Muma.
And just as you said it, Chase, the Lady Jacks were able to come up with another turnover and another opportunity to put points on the board. Kyla Deck right now being the aggressor, going coast to coast, and she's headed to the free throw line to try and claw back into this lead that the Lady Bulldogs have been able to spring out to.
23-8, under 15 to play here in the first. As that first free throw is off the mark. 5 of the 8 points so far for the Lady Jacks has come from the free throw line. Kyla Deck at the line does have the only made field goal thus far. And rattles in the second. And a quick official talking to Harrison there. So under 15 seconds to play, Gonzaga facing the full court pressure of the Lady Jacks. Under 10. Pushing the ball up, trying to go all the way inside, and that may have been tipped out of bounds by Lombard.
Let's see what the...
And it does look like it was last touched by Lombard. So Gonzaga will have one final second, or 1.6 seconds.
And we see Yvonne checking the game. Looks like they're going to get her play for her drawn up.
Trying to immediately look for her, not much there. Puts it up over Kirsten Harden, and somehow it falls in. Checks out, checks back in, immediately makes an impact. Lady Jacks trail 25-9 through 1. Quarter, she has 11.
Indeed, and Coach Fortier and the Lady Bulldogs of Gonzaga have come into this game and done exactly what she wanted to do. She said the game plan and the strengths of their team are shooting and driving to the basketball, and Yvonne Jean, a little bit of everything offensively for the Bulldogs and for the Lady Jacks, still trying to find their groove.
Inside, Harden couldn't make it there. Again, what we had kind of talked about earlier, Harden leads the nation in field goal percentage. And trying to get it to fall down there.
So indeed a rare miss as Harrison comes up with the turnover.
And Harrison able to get on the board for the Lady Jacks. And again, Lady Jacks just trying to crawl back into it. Maybe that break out of the first quarter did something for this team. And Lombard not happy about that call.
Indeed, and every time the Lady Jacks have come out of a timeout, they've turned that defensive aggression up. As you see Harrison here with the pretty finish, the pretty finger roll and transition right there. But if they can keep this defensive intensity up, as we see hands up in there in the face of the ladies, is another turnover. They can crawl right back into this, like you said, Chase.
Harrison able to lay it up and in. Back-to-back buckets for Jordan Harrison.
And that time using her body, she finishes with the left hand there. Lady Jacks found themselves down by 12. You have to think, Chase, that this momentum is starting to swing.
That was kind of a good off-ball present there by Esther Little, not allowing Kirsten Harden to get to the basketball.
And Michaela Williams with the pretty underhand layup finish there. I can tell you this, Chase, the Lady Bulldogs know how to play some basketball, and they're doing so. As Kala Deck, tough finish. She gets the layup to fall.
And right now, Lady Jacks get it right back. Lombard can't get it to fall, but she'll head to the line to shoot two. She can make it a 10-point game. And right now, Lady Jacks just not doing anything fancy, just trying to get it straight to the rack. And it's paying off right now as we see, of course, Yvonne and Jim check back in, but along with Destine Burton.
And the Lady Bulldogs kind of made the Lady Jacks get out of their groove to start off this game. But as we see Lombard up to the line now, first one up and good. They start to come back into this one by playing their game, turning turnovers into points.
Destiny Lombard, so far this season, I'm not going to say anything just yet, is 6 for 6, so she's perfect from the line. I didn't want to try and jinx it. I've done it in the past and wasn't going to do it again this time. But it is a 10-point game. Lady Jacks crawling back into this one as they were down early. Took them a while just to get their first field goal. First 5 points of the game were free throws from Ayanna Johnson.
Almost a travel there.
And so far, that's considered a rare miss from Gonzaga. They have not missed much from the floor.
Only their third miss of the afternoon. Shooting great from the field right now at about 78%.
And I think that foul is going to go against Jordan Harrison. So Jordan Harrison picks that one up. Gonzaga basketball. Right now, Lady Jacks getting quite a few buckets on the board, and Ayanna Johnson is not in the ballgame. Good ball movement from this Bulldog basketball club outside. You can't leave her open, and not able to make the Lady Jacks pay on that possession. Here comes Harrison. Lady Jacks trying to push it fast there. Not much going on offensively, as now they work for Harden. Deck fires from downtown, knocks it in. Kyla Deck. And a 7-point ball game.
And at the hands of Kyla Deck, as you can see, she is just as locked in as ever. And that was a big-time shot momentum-wise as Gonzaga almost turns it over, but the Lady Jacks come up with it. Playing their form of basketball. Great perimeter shooting right there from Kyla.
And I'm thinking here, if they get another offensive possession, Deck back-to-back threes, and just like that, a timeout taken by Gonzaga. Oh my goodness, Kyla Deck. 27. Out of the first quarter, trailing 25-9. And since the opening of the second, all of a sudden, it's a completely different story. Lady Jacks trailed 27-23 after opening up the second quarter with a 14-2 run, forcing the Bulldogs to take a timeout.
And they tipped the balance on that turnover statistical margin. Lady Jacks have forced Gonzaga to 8. As you see right there, Lombard is almost able to get another one, but the Lady Jacks only 4 here in this first half. But it has been the spark and fire of Kyla Deck from behind the arc and on the defensive end that has brought these Lady Jacks back to life here. And they look to keep this momentum going.
Kyla Deck leading the Lady Jacks with 12 points. And right on cue is Kaylin Trong. Knocks it down from outside.
You mentioned earlier, Chase, can't leave her open. That was the second time from the top of the key. She took that opportunity, and this time she's able to knock it down to Gonzaga, trying to stop this stretch.
Again, it was a 14-2 run for the Lady Jacks. Brittingham tried to dish it off, and she's going to get called for the travel. Still no Ayanna Johnson. But right now, Kyla Deck has been the main story for the Lady Jacks.
12 points here early. And the interesting thing, all 5 of the Lady Bulldogs of Gonzaga have scored, but only 3 of the Lady Jacks have scored.
Maybe 4. Lombard has 2, Deck with 12. And that's going to be a foul down low. And that's going to go against Brittingham. And here comes Ayanna Johnson, who has 5 points on tonight's game. And, yep, Brittingham just getting a foul maybe there on the elbow. But headed to the line now is Destiny Burton. As she knocks in the first. Destiny Burton on the season. Well, you know what? These are her first made free throws. She was 0 for 4 besides tonight. Now she knocks in her first 2.
And her shooting form, Chase, kind of had a different flick at the end of it, but right there she was able to capitalize and reaching for the ball. Great job right there by Harden. Outside Lombard, too strong. And like you said earlier, that was a great effort there by Harden. She almost lost it, but they just kind of punched it out to Kyla Deck. Deck with a great defensive effort. As now the Bulldogs are having to move it around. 5:25 to play here in the first half. Just trying to find something. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Great job trapping right there, and that is beautiful Lady Jack defense. That is what Coach Kellogg preaches right there, and that is a successful defensive stop.
Great job there by Ayanna Johnson, not, keeping her hands up, not drawing the foul as she knew the shot clock was winding down, and just forced it out of bounds, but it was a shot clock violation came first.
Indeed, cut the court off and made her try to shoot a wild shot there, and that is what you want, and the Lady Jacks have all the momentum, and William R. Johnson Coliseum is rocking now.
Johnson, and that's going to be a defensive foul, it looks like. Maybe. Nope, and they're going to say it's going to go against the Lady Jacks. Mark Kellogg not happy whatsoever. Let's take another look here. And I'm not for sure much there. Harrison looked like she was definitely in the spot to take it. Mark Kellogg visibly not happy about that call. But it will be Gonzaga basketball as they lead by 9.
Angel Scott back into the game, has yet to make a pointer on the board. She averages 2 steals on the season, so big defensively for the Lady Jacks as we see this ball movement.
A rare miss from Agene right there within her range. And talking about Angel Scott, she is number 4 in the nation from the field goal percentage from beyond the arc. So she can definitely shoot the rock, just hasn't gotten many opportunities thus far as the Lady Jacks will get the tip out. Indeed,
57% from the line. Great as we see Ayanna Johnson there catching that and putting it in for 2. Lady Jacks continuing to score points here in this first half.
Beautiful pass by Destiny Lombard to feed Johnson. Lady Jacks just trying to get the stops now. Outside. And Harden with the one-arm rebound, and she's going to get fouled as she heads to the floor. And that is going to go against Giovanni Jim.
Indeed, that was a big woman rebound right there with the one hand. Telling the Zags to get big underneath the rim there, and Harden earned that possession right there for the Lady Jacks. And it's going to take those small plays and those small efforts. It may lead to big-time plays on the scoreboard.
And how about that? That's Jim's 3rd personal foul, so an early foul trouble. And that may be a key to the Lady Jacks' success tonight as Deck gets that one halfway down and rims out.
Indeed, Chase. Yvonne Jean mentioned the vocal leader and play leader of this team. And with her on the bench, it's going to open up some opportunities for the Jags.
Deck trying to plead her case, trying to say that was the last touch by the Bulldogs, but the official saw otherwise. Harden working down low, not much there. 32-25 with 3:15 to go here in the second quarter. Under 10 on the shot clock. And going to go ahead and put up the long 2, knocks it in over Ayanna Johnson. And that's going to be Callie Stokes, so getting her first start tonight.
That was a beautiful shot right there by Stokes, just rising up. Ayanna Johnson with the crossover.
How about the handle from Ayanna Johnson?
Indeed. The hezzy left and taking it to the right there. That is a veteran move by Ayanna Johnson. And as long as these Lady Jacks can continue to score, they can stay within striking distance.
She may be a post player, but she definitely has some handles within her bag. And quickly checking in is the starter Brenna Maxwell, and checking out is Michaela Williams. 34-27, Lady Jacks crawled back into this one. It could have been an easy blowout as the Lady Jacks were trailing 25-9 going into the second quarter. Deep three is no good. Lombard trying to come up with it, and they're going to say last touch by Gonzaga.
And great effort play right there by Destiny Lombard, able to get in there and catch that and deflect it off of one of the Lady Bulldog players. Lumberjacks staying with the hot hand. Kyla Deck getting a lot of minutes here. Well deserved in this game. She single-handedly kept the Lady Jacks afloat.
And Harden gets fouled down low. Mad at herself she didn't knock it in, but how about that feed into Kyla Deck? That was a tough find. I thought it was going to get taken away, but Kirsten Harden.
Indeed, Destiny Lombard just quarterbacking it right there.
Got it over the hands of Burton, and now we see Harden at the line shooting 2 shots.
And you can feel the weight of these 2 free throws coming up.
These final 2 minutes could say a lot about how this game's going to go. Lady Jacks just trying to have battled their way greatly back into this one, even though we're in the first half.
We mentioned Gonzaga, ranked number 23 in the country. Big time wins over Tennessee and Louisville on the year. Played some tough competition. Talking with Coach earlier, she said the Lady Jacks are very similar to Tennessee and Louisville. They like to play inside to out. They play very big, very aggressive.
Kirsten Harden, who usually is a great free throw shooter. She was 15 for 17 on the season. She was perfect there for a while. Misses those 2 and almost throws it away. And they're going to say it's Lady Jack basketball.
Great effort there. Angel Scott mentioned hasn't got on the scoreboard yet. Normally by now we've seen her knock down a couple of big shots, but that time making her effort defensively.
And that's just give credit there to the Gonzaga defense. They've done great so far tonight from the perimeter. I believe only allowing 2 threes, both of them from Kyla Deck. Let's take a look here. So we do have 3 threes on the night. Trying to get the ball inside Harden. Harden goes up with it, too strong.
Like you mentioned, Chase, very rare misses for Harden underneath the rim tonight. And Gonzaga just playing very clean defense, not really trying to play too big underneath the rim there, just kind of having their hands up. And Harden, shots we normally see her knock down are a little bit off tonight.
And I was right about saying Kyla Deck had both 3-pointers. I thought it was 2. Well, she has all 3 actually. So Kyla Deck 3 for 3 from behind the arc. And then I think Lombard, Climate Call, and Harrison are all 0 for 2 from behind the arc. So right now Deck getting it all done. As we take a look here, and that foul down low. That foul will send Trong to the line. That'll be the first foul against Ayanna Johnson. Trong knocks in the first. Trong on the season is an 87% free throw shooter. So definitely has some confidence at the line. Knocks them both down. 36-27, back to a 9-point ball game with under a minute to play here in the first half. Scott with the individual pressure. Deck trying to take it all the way inside, uses the left hand, and it lays it off the glass softly and in.
A lot of screening and rolling on that offensive possession right there for the Lady Jacks as they were finally able to get some space. And Kyla Deck, that time finishing with the left.
About a 6-second differential between shot clock and game clock. If all goes right, it looks like Lady Jacks will have the final possession. Quick pull-up jumper, rattles out, and Harden will come down with it with 10 seconds on the board. Johnson in the front court, lost it. And that'll be last touch by the Lady Jacks with exactly 5 seconds left on the clock here in the first half of play.
And that almost could have been a foul called right there. A clear path foul by Tron, but instead no whistle.
Number 5, gonna have to heave a long-range shot, gets the shot up, and just off the back iron there. And that shot was put up by Michaela Williams. The Lady Jacks crawled back into this one, and they were down early. Right now they trail 36
in the half.
And the very first field goal for the Lady Jacks didn't even come until Kyla Deck checked in and knocked it from downtown. And that's what got the Lady Jacks their 8th point. All before that was Ayanna Johnson from the free throw line. All 5 points before that, but here we are checking into the second half. As again, the Bulldogs lead 36-29. And immediately, Yvonne Jim going right at Ayanna Johnson.
You mentioned she had to sit early for foul trouble. But here she kicks off the second half, immediately just kind of blowing by Ayanna underneath the rim there. That was a beautiful layup, and she comes up with the steal on the other end. Look at the speed of Yvonne.
And she just lays it right up and in. And, you know, things are starting to quickly look like they did in the first quarter. Already 40-29, 11-point lead for Gonzaga.
And just that quick 4 points for Gonzaga, and they're back to double digits. That is not how you want to start for the Lady Jacks. This offense looking a little bit stagnant here early. Just trying to look for something to go, but.
And that's going to be a double dribble against Ayanna Johnson, man. Johnson is just having all sorts of trouble right now by his gym.
Just looking out of sync that time. No movement, no pick and rolls, no screens on that offensive possession there. Very rare to see from the Lady Jacks.
Gonzaga trying to get their 3rd straight bucket, and that's going to be an offensive foul against Callie Stokes. Johnson not getting much offensively going here in the second half, but makes it up for it on the defensive end. And that's something that, you know, Coach Kellogg has to love to see, because, I mean, if you can't get it going offensively, it can be so easy to get down on yourself. Ayanna Johnson keeping the team first and picking up the basketball for them.
Indeed, Chase, just doing the little things, giving themselves another opportunity to score. And they're going to start getting more crucial as this game gets on. But you don't want to give the Lady Bulldogs of Gonzaga another big lead, as we see Brittingham working it underneath the rim, not able to get it to fall, but she came up with the rebound, and possession is going to stay with the Lady Jacks, and they just have to capitalize, Chase, ultimately. Have missed a lot of opportunities underneath the rim. You know, Ayanna Johnson, Kirsten Harden, they're very comfortable in that range, but just this afternoon.
Johnson on the inside, can't get that one to fall. Second chance, no good. And that was a point-blank shot for 2 tries from Johnson and couldn't get it to fall. Those are shots that, if you want to beat this Gonzaga team, you have to make.
Shots that the Lady Jacks have made all season, all last season as well, especially Ayanna Johnson. Just a testament to the influence that this Bulldog defense has right now in the mindset of these Lady Jacks.
Right now, Lady Jacks on a 4-game win streak, trying to extend it to 5 against the number 23 team in the nation, and it's going to be a traveling violation. And I would say that's pretty big for the Lady Jacks, as they still have not scored here in the second half. Kyla Deck, the leading scorer for this Lady Jack basketball team, on the bench. Trying to get something drawn up here. Harrison looking to take it right. Just a bunch of dribbling. Harrison gets it right back.
She's the fastest player on the court for sure.
Harrison thought about it from the outside. Step back 3 on the way from the top of the key, in, and then back out. And as Jim will come up with it. You know, all that running kind of reminds me of Steph Curry. You've seen some of those offensive plays just running around the court.
Indeed.
And Harrison tried to mimic it there with a step back 3. Just couldn't quite get it to fall in. That's the only thing she was missing. And a miss. And Harrison fights on the floor, and it's going to be Lady Jack basketball.
Great job right there by Jordan Harrison fighting for that ball. We mentioned just her Steph Curry-like abilities, and Steph Curry only 6'3", but in the NBA that's pretty short, less than average height, and Jordan Harrison standing at about 5'3".
And that foul will go against Callie Stokes as now she checks out. And bringing in Destiny Burton. Lady Jacks still searching for their first bucket of the first half, or second half, excuse me. Looking around, McCall thought about it for a second. Strong screen there by Brittingham, knocked Strong to the floor. McCall can't get it to go down. Strong coming up gingerly.
And McCall has tried that shot a couple times tonight. Hasn't fallen for her, and these Lady Jacks still searching for some big baskets here. Luckily, they've been able to stop the Zags, but nonetheless, they need to get it going offensively. Couple empty possessions.
Jim off the mark on that one. Like you said, if Gonzaga's gone cold, Lady Jacks really don't need to be cold as well. And they've gone almost 4 straight minutes without a bucket. Ayanna Johnson working her way inside, off the glass, too strong. Brittingham will get fouled down low, so Brittingham will go to the line to shoot 2 shots. Brittingham trying to search for her first points tonight, 0 for 2 so far from the field, as Kyla Deck, the leading scorer for the Lady Jacks, now checks in for McCall. And number 3, Muma will check in for Gonzaga.
You see Brittingham there, great IQ, able to get that rebound and try to go back up with it immediately. And the Lady Jacks continue to struggle from the free throw line. They're going to have to start to cash those in chases. We mentioned the longer this game goes on and the longer Gonzaga is able to hold on to this lead, the more dangerous and more crucial these free throws are going to become.
9 for 14 as a team are the Lady Jacks from the charity stripe tonight. And Brittingham makes it a 10-point game once again with 6 minutes remaining here in the third. Scott has not even gotten a shot off tonight. And splitting defenders there with a pull-up jumper is Brenna Maxwell.
Brenna Maxwell just making that look almost all too easy against that full-court press. And immediately Coach Kellogg signals for Harden to come in.
Johnson uses the glass, banks it in.
Beautiful footwork that time on that pivot foot there. Lady Jacks finally able to get some points on the board. Or a field goal, I should say. Their first field goal of this second half, 5 minutes in.
And that's too much time if you're the Lady Jacks trying to pull off a win against the number 23 team in the country. You got to get points on the board, especially those point blank shots. You've got to knock them in as Jim pulls it up. And Johnson will get fouled down low as she was fighting for the rebound against Brenna Maxwell.
And we're not going to see Vonnie Jim miss that shot too many more times, Chase. Ayanna Johnson may have to step closer on her, but once again, the Zags continue to miss. Great rebound, though, by Ayanna, but you mentioned if the Zags are going to stay cold, the Lady Jacks have to find a way to get hot.
42-32, clock ticking down to 5 minutes here in the third. Inside to Harden. Harden puts it up, blocked from behind. Second chance, knocks it in. Kirsten Harden with the and one opportunity. Cuts it down to 8 with an opportunity to cut it to 7. And that will lead us into break. Lady Jacks lead 40. All that out on. Was trying to use a little bit of hype there as the Lady Jacks and Kirsten Harden made the big time and won. But Gonzaga does lead 42-34. Harden at the line with the N1 opportunity.
I was about to say, Chase, nobody's perfect. Excitement can take over the tongue, and Lady Jacks fight really hard. They cut it back down to 7.
And sometimes, we call all Lady Jacks and Lumberjacks home games. It can become a force of habit at times. Lady Jacks, again, only have 1 loss on the season, and that was a road game. So,
pretty dominant team here in the William R. Johnson Coliseum. But the Zags have held the lead for 24 minutes. In this one, the Lady Jacks hasn't held a lead at all.
Trying to get it on the inside. 5 on the shot clock. Wide open. Can't make the Lady Jacks pay there. Here comes Harrison, trying to push it in transition. Has numbers. Harden down low, lays it up, and gets the friendly bounce off the rim and lays it up and in. 42-37. Here come the Lady Jacks.
One of those beautiful transition momentum shots for the Lady Jacks. And once again, they're amping it up on the defensive side.
Something about coming out of the timeout. Kirsten Harden able to get it to Johnson. Lady Jacks can cut it to a one-possession game. Looking around, Harrison using her quickness. Offhand lays it up and in. Jordan Harrison, three-point game.
Turnovers to points. Turnovers to points. That is how the Lady Jacks have made their mark tonight. Not shot well from the field goal percentage-wise, but they have made their mark on points off of turnovers right now. And the Lady Zags are just looking for some offense, but it gets sparked right there.
Brenna Maxwell from downtown cuts it back to two possessions. 6-point game, 45-39.
And although the score isn't changing Lee's taste, a lot of back and forth action, a lot of great basketball being played by both clubs.
Like we said, not a lot of back and forth as far as leads go, but definitely some momentum. And Arden just really off the mark there, trying to get it inside to Johnson. Trying to get another big stop on defense, and that's going to be a foul against Johnson. She thought she grabbed all ball.
That is going to be a tough whistle not to call, as we see Ayanna Johnson not agreeing.
See the transition here. And immediately Ayanna Johnson coming in the picture. She thought she got all ball right there, but definitely at the end there, maybe caught her with a hip. But it will be Gonzaga basketball and get their own basket. 2:50 remaining here in the third, 45-39. Strong guarded by Harden. Trying to lock down the interior, dude, doing a great job. Outside shot on the way short. Offensive board is good by Michaela Williams. And the momentum slowly starting to shift back in favor of Gonzaga.
And that time, the Lady Bulldogs only able to get that. The Lady Jacks were kind of watching as they are going to turn the ball over there.
Fans are trying to say that was last touch by the Bulldogs, but
just
said not so.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chase. I'm just saying that the Lady Jacks just kind of got caught looking on that possession as it ended up in the hands of Michaela Williams there, and an easy two for the Zags. Now the Lady Jacks have done a great job on not letting the Bulldogs get those easy two.
Clock getting close to 2 minutes remaining here in the third. It was a 3-point game. So far, Zags have answered accordingly. Strong looking around. Jim, who else? In and out, and that's going to be some contact down low by Esther Little.
Gonna get Little for an over the back call that time.
And Lady Jacks are in bonus, so that will send Ayanna Johnson to the line, where she is very familiar tonight. Just her first set of free throws from that end of the court here in the second half. So far, Ayanna Johnson on the night from the free throw line is 5 for 6. I think she missed her first and hasn't looked back.
She's going to have these two here.
Knocks in the first. 7-point game. Just under 2 minutes to play in the third. Knocks in a pair there. She's got 12.
Good to see her in her groove now as we have the fourth quarter coming up in about 1:50. Ayanna Johnson, the leader of this Lady Jack team, and as I just mentioned, she's starting to come alive as we see Yvonne has missed her last couple opportunities at the rim now.
Zags not able to make the Lady Jacks pay on the second offensive board. How about the third? Outside, Trong knocks it in, top of the key.
And Trong just has that light switch of a wrist. When she turns it on, it is on, and it is going right now, and that is her third three from that same position on the court.
Inside, Harden puts it up and in. Trong with 13 points, and I stand corrected, Ayanna Johnson has 13 now as well with those pair of made free throws.
Very good offense right there by the Lady Jacks. We mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Chase, about scoring fast and just getting ready to settle in on the defensive end, and that is what they do that time. Kirsten Harden.
Strong thought about it against Johnson. Good hands. Able to secure it. Zag still looking around. Ejin looking to go against Harden. Tough layup, couldn't get it to go in. And here come the Lady Jacks, 7-point lead for Zags, trying to cut it down. Thought about the cross-court pass. Here's Kyla Deck, wide open. Too strong. Ball fought for, last touch by Johnson. And it looks like Brittingham set to check in. She will bring out Ayanna Johnson.
And Kyla Deck was bound to miss at some point, but she still has had the hot hand tonight. Coming off of the bench for the Lady Jacks. She's up to 14 points.
And how about this for both squads? You know, Gonzaga outscored Lady Jacks single-handedly, easily. There in the first quarter, 25-9. Lady Jacks responded amazingly with a 20-11, outscoring the Zags there in the second, and we are all knotted up at 14 here in the third. So 7-point lead outside. Trong feeling it from the top of the key. Knocks in another 10-point game. 5 seconds. Harrison pushing the ball up the floor. Lombard, open three, waved off. Offensive foul against Harrison with 1.6 seconds remaining in the third.
Big time shot by Trong. And it's going to give the Lady Bulldogs another 10-point lead, and the Zags continue to make big shots.
And that's exactly who you don't want shooting the long-range shot, but Trong comes up with there. Lady Jacks trail by 10, headed into the fourth and final quarter here at the Sawmill.
Did you know one of Nissan's EVs?
You would not think it would only be a 10-point game, but it's very much a winnable game between each sides now with 10 minutes remaining. Gonzaga will start out the fourth with the basketball as they outscored the Lady Jacks by 3 there in the third. 10-point game. Let's see what both squads have to bring coming out of the break.
Lady Jacks now stepping out in front of that perimeter to guard the Bulldogs, as we see Trong with an open three now. She comes up with the miss there. But before Kirsten Harden got switched on to Trong, they were guarding in front of the perimeter, and you're going to have to close that off if you want to close this gap down pretty fast here in the fourth.
You're absolutely right. You don't want Trong getting any open looks, and that'll be last touched by Gonzaga. So Lady Jacks will have an inbounds play right underneath their basket. 53-43. Still looking for the opening basket. A lot of the hot hands in for the Lady Jacks right now. Lombard, wing three, came up short.
And just like you mentioned, Chase, hot hands are in. And we don't see Angel Scott, we mentioned, just hasn't been her night offensively.
They've absolutely shut her down, and that may have been the game plan coming in tonight. They know that Angel Scott was really the big perimeter offense for the Lady Jacks, but how about Kyla Deck stepping up and saying, if you're going to shut down Scott, you know, I'll take over.
And she's going to have to make a couple of more big ones here. Let's see if Coach Kellogg doesn't try and run his offense through 12, as Ayanna Johnson and Kirsten Harden have tried to do what they can underneath the rim, but the Zags have been able to secure a lead.
Trying to work it around inside, and don't need anything too fancy right now if you're the Lady Jacks. Trying to get easy buckets. You can't go another first half stretch of no buckets for the Lady Jacks if you really want to get back into this one.
Indeed, but the transition offense has been beautiful all night, and we see Kyla Deck taking it to the rack here, and she gets the reverse layup. And once again, when they play fast motion offense, Chase, they are able to produce some points. But when they slow it down, they give the Bulldogs a chance to adjust, as we see Kyla Deck coming up big with the steal.
Kyla Deck with riding all the way there was Michaela Williams, right all over that right arm. And Williams wasn't going to allow Deck to get a wide open layup whatsoever.
Indeed, but how about the play from this freshman as she continues to give it her all? As you right, hard foul, smart foul though by Michaela Williams. But
there was no ball on that whatsoever.
Indeed. Just trying to secure these free throws instead. The Lumberjacks have struggled, as we see Kyla Deck, her first one is off, but you see her teammates come to console her. You have to start knocking these down though.
Every point matters. You got to, like you said, knock them in. Deck knocks in the second. 53-46 with under 9, almost under 8 to play. Ejim taking it all the way, and now we'll pull it back out. 3 on the way, off the mark. Lucky for the Lady Jacks, and here they come, trying to push it right back, under 8. Deck, I think wisely pulls it out there. Now going to try to use her quickness, good defense. Harden, triple team down low, wisely gets it out. Lombard tries another, knocks it in. Destiny Lombard makes it a 4-point game.
Big time shot from Lombard, her first one of the afternoon. Lady Jacks are right back into this one. They found themselves down by 4. Bulldogs have led literally all game chase up to 32 minutes now.
53-49. Stokes can't get that one to fall. Lady Jacks, let's see what they can do here. They've had some momentum shifts their way. Could this be another one? Harrison gets something set up. Gets strong on the backside. Harrison puts it up and just falls out. Harden fighting for it. And they're going to say she saved it from going out of bounds. And here come the Bulldogs. Strong trying to take it inside. And that's going to be a foul by Destiny Lombard. Shot waved off. Both teams battling right now. SFA opens up a 6-0 run here in the 4th.
And honestly, Chase, was it just me, or did you feel the pressure in that possession of the Lady Jacks right there? It seems like with 6:54 left here, such a close game, and that is going to be a shot and in for the Lady Bulldogs. Brenna Maxwell.
And if there's one thing you wanted to avoid, it's that right there.
Indeed, a 3-point play opportunity here. The Zags on the night shooting 5 for 5 from the free throw line. So
I think sometimes in some ways an and one opportunity can be more deadly momentum-wise than an actual three-pointer, because not only do you make the basket, but then you slow the pace of the game and it allows to make the free throw, and just like that, it can become an extra 3-point. With just under 7 to play here in the 4th, it's really anyone's ball game at this point, as the Lady Jacks and Gonzaga going back and forth in momentum-wise, not really back and forth in points, but Lady Jacks giving Gonzaga a run for their money.
Indeed, and Jordan Harrison here with the big-time step-back three, not able to get it to fall.
Second time she's had that opportunity to have a step-back, kind of a more open three, and just couldn't knock it in. And at this point in time, those are some big-time shots you really want to get going. You really don't want to come up empty-handed at any of these possessions from here on out.
And you mentioned the youth and the power of the Lady Jacks with Kala Deck and Jordan Harrison taking some, yeah, indeed, as we see another shot by Truong, and she has come alive here in this fourth quarter, stretching this lead back to double digits. She is starting to be the announcer of those double-digit leads. As SFA still fighting here, but
outside Lombard, corner three, count it.
Answers right back.
Destiny Lombard, that's her second made three, back in the hands of the Lady Jacks. Under 6 to play as we see Ayanna Johnson shake in for Ava Brittingham.
And there goes that momentum shift that you just talked about, Chase. You mentioned on the scoreboard they haven't gone back and forth. The Lady Bulldogs have led the entire time, but Destiny Lombard has had a couple of chances at a steal there, and you see the intensity that she's playing with right now and knocking down that three-pointer. Let's see if the Lady Jacks don't go to her again.
Lady Jacks trying to get something set up inside, trying to get the pick and roll. Harden able to save it from going out of bounds. And Harrison now getting something set up with 10 on the shot clock. Harrison, another step back three, can't get that one to fall.
And that time, Kala Deck was calling for it in the corner there.
She was open there for a good minute or so. And the up and in for, I believe that was Michaela Williams. A couple bodies went around flying there.
Indeed it was Michaela Williams. We've seen her a couple tough layups, able to finish, but the Lady Jacks, another opportunity to score some points fast.
And that's That's going to be an offensive foul against Kirsten Harden down low. Just kind of definitely powered up and lowered that shoulder. And that's exactly what you don't want to do if you're the Lady Jacks. This is how Gonzaga started it with a 25-9 first quarter.
Indeed, Chase. That first quarter spark has carried them the entirety of this game. The Lady Jacks, we saw them claw back and be down by 3. Saw them claw back and be down by 4. But Truong has continued to make big shots. Yvonne Ejim as well. And if they continue to make shots, they can come out of this. They can come out of Nacogdoches, come out of Texas with a win here.
4:30 on the clock. 10 on the shot clock. Inside Ejim. Makes Harden twist around, lays it up and in. Great move there by Ejim.
And that was tough defense by Harden, as good as you can play without fouling. But Yvonne Ejim right there just showing her ability to score the basketball. And they increase this lead back to double digits, Chase.
Lombard came up wide left, looking maybe for the foul call, kind of shook her hand there. And a whistle is blown for a stoppage of play, not for sure why. Something to do with the clock, I'm guessing, because, well, that's where the official pointed. So that's why I'm taking just an educated guess there. Clock shows 4:03 on the clock. They're going to put 2 seconds back on. And it will be Gonzaga basketball. Angel Scott, who has not even attempted a shot tonight, and Avery Brittingham will check in. Angel Scott, would love to see her get going here with 4 minutes remaining.
Indeed, if she's able to catch the hot hand, that could be exactly what the Lady Jacks need. But nonetheless, you mentioned earlier, Bulldogs is doing a great job of shutting her down from that perimeter. You mentioned third in the country in three-point percentage at 57, but tonight, 0%.
63-52, Gonzaga leads. Good look down low. Deck able to interrupt it. Kyla Deck is where she needs to be at the exact moment. And let's see if the Lady Jacks can pull something out of it. Mark Kellogg saw something that apparently Lady Jacks didn't. Deck from outside, knocks it in. Kyla Deck hasn't gotten a shot off in a few minutes. Doesn't matter, still has the hot hand. Knocks it in from downtown, 63-55.
And she's a streaky shooter, Chase, so let's see if that one doesn't spark another one, as the Lady Jacks are once again going to have to come up big defensively. You see Jordan Harrison guarding Truong at the logo now.
And that'd be big if they start kind of switching over to Kyla Deck, if they can get Angel Scott going inside against Johnson. Ejim just going right at the body and lays it up and in. 10-point game again.
And Ejim has gone at every defender that the Lady Jacks have thrown at her. And without fouling, the Lady Jacks have played some great defense, but she's just offensively a juggernaut.
Kyla Deck, floater on the way, knocks it in. Timeout taken by the Lady Jacks. 65-57, under 3 to play. Windows becoming tighter and tighter. Let's see what happens. This game might be a lot closer.
And a great job. Shouts out to Coach Fortier of the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Down 3 players in this one. 2 of those players were starters. So she mentioned in the shoot-around this morning that you're going to see a little bit of a different style of basketball than they're used to playing. And teamwork was a big part of that. And so far, every player on their team -1 has been able to touch the scoreboard.
Lady Jacks need a big-time stop here. 65-57, Scott on Truong. Trying to get to Ejim, and Harrison will come up with it. Trying to push the ball in transition. Harrison will lay it up and count it. Lady Jacks making their move. 6-point game with 2:10. Truong pushes off against Harrison there, no whistle.
We've seen that a couple of times. Truong has kind of just used that body and that hip to push off, but just great job there by Jordan Harrison getting that 2-point layup. Lady Jacks scoring fast.
Under 2 to play. Under 10 on the shot clock. Trying to use the pick and roll. Not much there. Pull-up jumper. And just like that, Callie Stokes coming up big for this Gonzaga ball club.
And so far, Chase, that mid-range pull-up may have been the biggest shot of the afternoon for the Bulldogs. We see Jordan Harrison up. Not good. Ayanna Johnson blocked by Yvonne Ejim.
And those are shots you have got to make, especially here in crunch time. And Trong going to waste as much time as possible. About a minute 20 on the clock, and that'll bring us down to about a minute if they use the entire shot clock, and that's going to be a foul on Kyla Deck. Kyla Deck has had herself a night against the number 23 team in the nation.
Indeed, only a freshman out of Frisco, Texas. She came out tonight, Ayanna Johnson as well, another lady that fought pretty hard for the Lady Jacks tonight, but just Gonzaga as a team tonight. Mentioned number 23 in the country for a reason.
And no whistle there outside. And Jean will fire from downtown. No good. Lady Jacks have got to get a big, quick bucket here, and that's going to be a foul against number 24, Michaela Williams. So looking over at the stat sheet right now, Trong with 19, as Jean with 19, and then Maxwell with 11. So 3 double-digit players for Gonzaga tonight. And then kind of taking a look at some, like almost on the door is Stokes and Williams. And then only 2 players in double digits for the Lady Jacks. Kyla Deck coming off the bench with 22 points. Under a minute to play. Got to get an offensive possession here. Johnson fires it from downtown. That's her first one of the season and came up short. 45 seconds. And that will just about seal the deal unless something absurd happens. But how about this Lady Jack basketball squad? They, again, you know, they came in here, you know, they may have gotten rattled in the first quarter going up against, you know, a big school name like Gonzaga. Whether they're ranked or whether that's the name, they got rattled a little bit, getting outscored 25, to 9 there in the first quarter. But ever since then, they've done a great job against this ball club. But unfortunately, it looks like they will take their second loss of the season. And it's not like they've been losing any easy games. They lost to Rice, and now they're losing to Gonzaga. So give credit to this Lady Jack ball club for being a 10-point game right now here in the fourth quarter.
You mentioned fought very hard after that first quarter. They actually outscored the Lady Bulldogs for the next 2 quarters, and here in the fourth, they're at 16 apiece. So we just keep mentioning that offensive spark that the Lady Bulldogs had, but again, as Jordan Harrison comes up short on that step back 3, a lot of good talking points for both ball clubs. The Lady Bulldogs were down 2 starters and had to have some players step up. Callie Stokes, who we saw hit that clutch shot, mentioned this is her first start, and they come all the way down from Spokane, Washington to play the tough program like the Lady Jacks. And Coach Fortier has the utmost respect for Coach Kellogg in this program, but nonetheless a hard-fought win. The Lady Jacks didn't give it to them easily.
So the largest lead of the game for Gonzaga was 18, and I think it got cut down all the way to what, 2 or 3? 3, I believe. So give credit to this Lady Jack ball club. They can show that they can hang with the best of them. Gonzaga has taken down 2 nationally ranked teams. And right now, Lady Jacks and Avery Brittingham can't get that one to fall. 10-second shot clock turned off. And Mark Kellogg just saying clear the floor. And it will be Gonzaga advancing to 7-1. And the Lady Jacks falling to 5-2. Great hard-fought battle by both basketball teams. And we couldn't have asked anything else from both sides. We've had a great show.